Okay, so my name is Bilal, and today we'll be solving additional mathematics, paper 2, session October November, year 2022, and variant 22, which is of 2 hours. Now, before starting, I have to make an announcement that please do like, share, and subscribe our channel. So, we are given with the equations simultaneous equation x plus 5y equals to negative 4, 3y minus xy equals to 6. Let's rearrange the second equation to get our third equation. So this would be taking y as common. This would be 3 negative x equals to 6. This will be y is equals to 6 over 3 minus x. This will be our third equation, which we can substitute in the first equation. So this would be x plus 5 into 6, 3 minus x equals to negative 4. Now as we solve this, we have to take the LCM, so this would be multiplied by 3 minus x, and this will be multiplied by negative 4, since it will be in the whole denominator, right? So this would be something like x into 3 minus x would be 3x minus x squared plus 30 is equals to negative 12 plus 4x. Now bringing all the things on the right hand side to make the x square positive, so this would be x squared um, plus 4x negative 3x would be plus x, and this would be negative 42. So we have our roots. Our roots would be 7 and 6, that is plus 7 negative 6, taking x as common over here, so this would be x plus 7, taking negative 6 as common, this would be x plus 7. So we get our x as negative 7 and our second x as 6. We can plug in x equals to negative 7 over here and x equals to 6 over here. So when we plug in negative 7 over here, so this would be positive 10. 6 over 10 is basically zero point 0.6. Sorry, this would be y equals to 0 0.6, right? So this is our first part, and this would be our second. Now if we plug in x equals to 6 over here, so this would be 3 minus x, and 6 over minus 3, so this would be negative 2 simply. So this would be negative 2, right? So we have our two solutions. Now moving on, we have our question to solve the equation this. Now if we have to solve this equation, we have to make all the powers of e on the single side, right? And we have to make a single power of e. What I mean to say is, let's just divide 7 by 4, and this e will be divided by 2x e power 2x minus 3. We get each and everything on the right hand side and on the left hand side. What I mean to say is, our integers are on the right hand side, and our variables are on the left hand side, right? So we can write this as e power 2x minus 3, and this power would be subtracted since it's in the denominator, so this would be something like this, right? Now if we solve this, so we get it as 2x plus x would be 3x, I guess, and negative 3 and negative 5 would be negative 8. This would be 7 over 4. To remove this e, we have to take ln. So this would be ln e power 3x minus 8. This would be ln 7 over 4. Now if we have ln e, so this power comes on the comes down, which will be 3x minus 8. If we solve ln 7 over 4, we can solve the ln 7 over 4, or we can write this as it is. We'll subtract 8, we'll add 8 over there and then divide it, right? So this would be x equals to ln 7 over 4 positive 8, and this whole is divided by 3 to get our x. And if we solve this, so when we use the calculator, we get the answer as 2.85. Right. Now moving on, we have our question 3, I guess. Yes, question 3. We don't have any parts over here. Question 3. In this question, a and b are constants. The normal to the curve this at the point x equals to 1 has equation this. Find the values of a and b. Right. So we are given with the equation of the curve at point x equals to 1. So let's just calculate the value of y when x equals to 1. When x equals to 1, our y would be, this would be 1, so this would be a, this would be 1, so this would be 3, and minus 2, this would be 1. Right. So our y would be a plus 1 simply. Now we have to calculate the normal to the curve. So the normal, for the normal to the curve, we have to first calculate the gradient of the tangent. So if we have to calculate the gradient of the equation, let's just rewrite this equation. So this would be ax minus 1 plus 3x minus 2. Bringing the power down, so this would be minus, and then subtracting the power, so this would be ax minus ax squared, and this is basically 3. So we have our dy by dx, that is the gradient of tangent. We plug in x equals to 1 over here, we get it as negative a plus 3. Now if we have to have gradient of normal, this is basically perpendicular's gradient, which will be equals to the negative reciprocal of this. So this would be 1 over, if we take the negative sign common, so this would be something like this, and our negative reciprocal would be a minus 3. Right. This would be negatively multiplied, so this negative and negative would be cancelled out, so this would be a 1 over a minus 3. Right. So we have our gradient. Our gradient was given over here, which is equal to negative 1 over 4. So let's just plug it in over here. So this would be 1 over a minus 3. We multiplied the a minus 3 over there, and then 4 over there. So this would be negative a positive 3 equals to 4. And then our a would be negative 1. Right. We can plug in this a over here. We get our y as 0. Right. So we have the points. Now let's just plug in the points in the equation. So this would be negative 1 over 4x plus b. We have to calculate the b. We can plug in the coordinates. So this would be x is 1. So this would be negative 1 over 4, and this is y. This would be b. Our b would be positive 1 over 4. So we have our a and d. Now moving on to question 4, we have solved the equation this, given that x has to be greater than 1. For this, we need to make the base of log as 3 to calculate to multiply these both, right? Now, first of all, we need to take this log over there. So this would be log 311x minus 8 as it is. This will go over there. So this would be 2 log x 3. Now let's just recall that this log x3 can be written as 1 over log 3x, right? So this is a common log's law. We can just write it over here. So this would be, let's just complete it as well. So this would be log 311x minus 8 as it is negative 2, and since it's 1 over log 3x, this will go up, so this would be log 3x equals to 1. Either you can multiply it or divide it. This 2 will go in the power of x. Let's just divide it. So this would be log, by using the quotient law, where this is basically log a and b and log c and d. So if we have, sorry, the bases has to be same. So if we have this, we can multiply the function, sorry, we can divide the functions because it's negative. We can divide the function and take the common base, right? So this was the log. I hope you remember it. So this would be log 3 11x minus 8 over x squared equals to 1. This 3 will be, since it's log 3, this function and 1, this 3 would be powered as 1. So this would be 3 power 1. 11x minus 8 equals to x square. Now we have to solve this, taking multiplying x square by the x square by 3. So this would be 3x squared, taking all the things on the right hand side. So this would be negative 11x positive 8, and we get our answers as 3x squared, negative 3x, and then negative 8x, positive 8. So this would be 3x, x minus 1, minus 8, x minus 1. So we get our x as 1 and our x as 8 over 3, right? So this would be rejected. I hope you remember the reason. This is the reason. X has to be greater than 1. So if it is equals to 1, it has to be rejected, right? Now moving on, we have question 5 where we are not allowed to use the calculator in this question. Find the x coordinates of the points of intersection of the curve this and this, right? So we have to just substitute this whole y over here. So let's just substitute it. So this would be 7x cubed minus 7x square minus 17x minus 4 is equals to x cubed negative 2x squared negative 4x negative 16. Where I do switch in the negative or the minus sign, right? So this would be, let's just take everything on the left hand side. So this would be 6x cubed. This x cube would be subtracted from 7x cube. This 2x square would be added in negative 7x square. So this would be negative 5x squared. And this negative 4x would be added in the, this would be positive 4x in 17x, negative 17x. So this would be negative 13x. And solving this, so this would be positive 12. We have this equation. We can try ax value to get, to check if it is equals to 0. We can try x equals to 1. Now if we try x equals to 1, so we get x1 6 1 minus 5 1 negative 13 1 positive 12, right? So we have it as 0. We have one root, that is x equals to 1, or we can write it as x minus 1. So this is x minus 1 ax squared bx is bx plus c. Now how did I get x equals to 1? You can do some trial and error. You can use negative 1 0 1 2 negative 2, all these values, or use use the calculator, right? Now if we are not allowed the calculator, so you can use these 2 or 3 or these 5 values. You will surely get an answer, right? So we have this. Now we need the other two roots. We can compare this with the original equation, that is 6x cubed negative 5x squared negative 13x plus 12. This negative 1 and c is multiplied, so this would be negative c equals to 12, and our c is equals to negative 12. So we have our c. To calculate a, we have ax squared into x. So this would be ax cubed is equals to 6x cubed. So we have our a as 6. Now let's just calculate the x squared term to complete our b as well. We will have our b as bx squared and negative ax squared, and our x squared is basically negative 5x squared. This x squared would be cancelled out. We have our b minus 6 equals to minus 5. So this would go over there. We have our b as 1, right? So this would be something like 6x squared positive x negative 12, and this is multiplied by x minus 1. Let's just factorize it. We'll factorize it by 9 and 8. 9 and 8 as our factors. So this would be 6x squared plus 9x minus 8x minus 12. So this would be taking 3x as common. This would be 2x plus 3. Taking negative 4x as common, 2x plus 3 again. So this would be x minus 1, 3x minus 4, and 2x plus 3. So we have our all three roots, right? Or you can write the x coordinate if we need the x coordinate. So this would be, since this is 3x minus 4 equals to 0, so this would be x equals to 4 over 3. We had x equals to 1, and if we use this, we have our x as equals to negative 3 over 2, right? So these are our three coordinates. Now moving on to question 6, which is of permutation, I guess. Permutation and combination. A 4-digit code is to be formed using 4 different numbers selected from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Find how many possible codes there are if the code forms a number that is odd and greater than 5000. So it has to be an odd number and greater than 5000. We'll be taking two cases over here, where first we have, here we can have 5, 7, and 9, right? No even numbers are added over here, right? So we can have, here we can have 3, 5, 7, or 9. An odd number ends with a odd digit at the end, right? So we can have 3, 5, 7, or 9. Now if we use one of the 5, 7, and 9, we can only have three combinations over here, right? So we can either have three combinations over here, three combinations over here, three combinations over here. We are left with two of them are selected out of two, out of 8. So we are left with 6, and then and then 3 are selected, so we are left with 5. So multiplying 3 by 6 and then 5 and by again 3, so this would be 270. Let's just take the another case, right? So this would be case 1, this would be case 2, right? Now we can have 6 and 8 over here, right? Either of the two. Now here we can have all four values, right? Because 5, 7, and 9 are not used over. So we have four combinations over here, and again the same as it is over here. So we'll be multiplying this. So this would be 240, and by adding them we get our answer as 510. Yes, we get our answer as 510. Now in part B, we have a number greater than 5000 with a last digit that is prime. So what are the prime numbers? Prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, and 7. These are the four prime numbers, right? Again, we'll be using the two cases. Our case 1 would be it has to be greater than 5000. So let's just take, if we have 5 or 7 over here, so we have two combinations. We can either have three of them over here, because 5 or 7 is used over here. We can have three of them over here. We are left with the other 6 and 5, so we'll be multiplying 2 by 6 by 5 and by 3, so we get our answer as 180. Our case 2 would be, we don't have a 5 or 7 over here, we have 6, 8, or 9 over here, right? So we have three combination over here, that is 6, 8, and 9, and we can have all the four combinations over here, that is 2, 3, 5, 7, and we can have 6, 5, and 4. So if we multiply this, we get our answer as 360, and if we add them, so we get our answer as 540, right? So this was it. And now moving on to question 7, we have show that this is equals to this, right? So let's just do it. So this would be sine x. We have to take the LCM. This sine x would be multiplied by again sine x. This would be multiplied by 1 minus cos x. So this would be sine x plus 1 minus cos x whole squared, and this would be 1 minus cos x sine x, right? So we have sine x sine squared x, sorry, sin x multiplied by sin x is sin squared x plus 1 minus 2 cos x plus cos squared x. This is basically expanded by a minus b whole squared identity. Let's just change this. So this would be sine squared x plus cos squared x equals to 1. This cos would go over there, so this would be 1 minus cos squared x, right? Now we get our answer as, so this would be 1 minus cos squared x. We have written sine squared as 1 minus cos squared x plus 1 minus 2 cos x plus cos squared x, right? So we have this and this would be cancelled out. 1 minus cos x sin x. So this 2 and 2 would be added. So this would be 2 minus 2, taking 2 as common. 1 minus cos x, 1 minus cos x sin x. This 1 minus cos x and 1 minus cos x would be cancelled out. And 1 over sin x is basically cosec x. So this would be 2 cosec x, right? This is it. Now moving on, in part B, a hence keyword is used. So we'll be using a part A. So we have this as 2 over sine x equals to 3 sine x minus 1. We multiply sine x over there. So this would be 2 equals to 3 sine squared x negative sine x. Bringing all the things on the right hand side. So this would be 3 sine squared x minus sine x minus 2 equals to 0. By solving this, we get 3 and 2 as our, again, 3 and 2 as our roots. So this would be 3 sine x minus 3 sine x positive 2 sine x negative 2 is equals to 0. Taking 3 sine x as common, this would be sine x minus 1 plus 2 as common, sine x minus 1 equals to 0. We have sine x equals to 1 and we have sine x equals to 3 sine x plus 2 would be negative 2 over 3, right? So we have these two. Sine x is equals to 1 on x equals to 90 degrees, right? And do we have this? Yes, we have this. X is equals to 90 degrees when x sine x is equals to 1. We need this, so this would be third and fourth quadrant because sine is negative in third and fourth quadrant. Let's just recall A, S, T, and C. This and this here, both on these both quadrants, sine is negative, right? So we have our, we use the calculator, we take the inverse of negative 2 upon 3. This would give our alpha as 41.8. So we get our theta as 180 plus 41.8, that would be 221.8, and 360 minus 41.8 would be 318.2, right? So we have our thetas. Moving on to question number 8, where in this question all lengths are in centimeter. This is understood. This is some basic information about spheres and cylinders. Let's just move on. Diagram shows a solid object in the shape of cylinder of a base radius r and a height this with a hemisphere, that is half of sphere, radius r. The total surface area of the object is 300 centimeters square, right? So let's just take what is the surface area. This curved surface area would be included, this base would be included, right? Let's just take different pens over here. This curved surface area of cylinder would be included. I take the surface area of the, or the total surface area is all the things you can, all the area you can touch. You can touch the curved surface area of this object, you can touch the bottom side of this object, sorry, bottom side of this object, and you can touch the upper side of this object, right? So we have curved surface area of cylinder added with area of circle added with area of hemisphere, right? So this was it. Let's just take it. Find an expression for h in terms of r, right? So we have been given with the total surface area. Total surface area is equals to curved surface area. I have written CSA, curved surface area of cylinder, plus area of circle, that is in green, this part, this green part, and I would say surface area of hemisphere, right? This is basically a curved surface area because total surface area includes the base, that is the circle, right? So we won't be including surface that circle over here. So curved surface area of cylinder is given over here. This is 2 pi r h. Area of circle is pi r square, and curved surface area of hemisphere would be, this is 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square of a whole sphere, this would be divided by 2, so we get our curved surface area of hemisphere as 2 pi r square. Now taking pi r as common, I guess this is equals to h, or we can add this first. So this would be 2 pi r h plus 3 pi r square is equals to 300. Because we have to isolate h, let's just take this over there. So this would be negative 300 minus 3 pi r square. This whole thing would be divided. So this would be 2 pi r, and this would be equals to h. We have our expression of h, right? Now moving on, we have show that the volume of the object is this. We need to calculate the volume of the object. Volume would be this hemisphere. This is a sphere, so this would be halved, and the total volume is basically this of the cylinder, right? So let's just move on with the total volume. Our total volume is given by volume of hemisphere plus volume of cylinder, right? So volume of hemisphere would be 4 over 6 because 4 over 3 is divided by 2, so this would be 4 over 6, right? Cancel this out, so this would be 2 over 3. Just write 2 over 3 over here. 2 over 3 pi r cube plus volume of cylinder is given as pi r square h above here. So this would be pi r square h. Let's just plug in h from what we calculated in a part. So this would be 2 upon 3 pi r cube as it is, and this pi r square would be as it is. H would be added here. This would be 300 minus 3 pi r square, 2 pi r. This pi and pi are cancelled. R would be 1. So we have our r here. So this would be 300 r as left, 300 r and divided by 2, so that would be 150 r. We have our 150 r, and this r is multiplied by this. This would be 3 pi r cubed upon 2, and this 3 pi r cubed upon 2 is subtracted from 2 upon 3 pi r cube. So we get this in negative, and if we use the calculator, we get our answer as negative 5 over 6 pi r cube, right? So we have this answer. Now moving on to part C, we have find the maximum volume of the object as V varies, right? We have this formula of V. We'll use the use this formula. So this has volume is equals to 150 r minus 5 over 6 pi r cube. We need to calculate the maximum volume, so we have to differentiate it and then equal this, make the differentiation equals to 0 to calculate the value of r and then plug it in the volume, right? So this would be, we have to calculate the derivative of this. So this would be 150, this 3 would be multiplied over there, so this would be 5 over 2, I guess. Yes, this 3 and 6 would be cancelled out, so this would be 2, and then power would be subtracted by 1, so this would be this, and we have to equate it. dv over dr is equals to d0 for maximum slash minimum value, right? So we have to equate it to 0, so this would be 5 upon 2 pi r cube negative, and this is positive 150, so this will move over there, so this would be 5 upon 2 pi r cube, sorry, pi r square equals to 150. This 2 would be multiplied, 5 would be divided, and pi would be divided, so we get our r square as 60 over pi. Now we need to plug in this equation or this equation. So r is basically 60 upon pi square root, right? We'll plug in this r in the original equation, original volume equation, that was 150 r minus 5 upon 6 pi r cube. This r will be substituted over here, so this would be 150 root 60 over pi minus 5 over 6 pi 60 over pi, and then this will be cubed. We'll be using the calculator over here, and here we'll get our answer as 437. You can calculate the value of r over here as well, so this would be 4.37, and we get our answer as 437 over here, right? Now moving on to question 9, we have in this question all lengths are in centimeters. Yes, you know this. The diagram shows ABC, which has an area of this. Angle A has to be acute, right? Find the exact value of sine A. So for sine A, we can use the sine rule over here, right? Or we can use the area of the triangle, because area of the triangle is given. So our area of the triangle is given by when we use the sine formula. So this would be 1 over 2 B C and then sine A, right? This is the formula which was recalled in O-level mathematics, right? So we have our formula of a triangle without 90 degrees, and we are given with the area, actual area, right? So we have our B as root 5 minus 1, and we have our C as root 5 plus 1, and this would be our sine A is equals to 2 root 5 upon 3. This 2 would be multiplied over there, so this would be 4 root 5 upon 3, and we'll be applying A plus B and A minus B, so this would be A squared, that is root 5 whole squared would be 5 minus 1, that would be 4, right? That would be 4, and this 4 over 2 would be 2 over here is equal to 2 sine A is equal to 2 root 5 upon 3. This 2 and 2 would be cancelled out, so this would be root 5 over 3. Sine A is basically root 5 upon 3. So we have our answer. Now moving on to part B, we have find the exact value of cos A, hence find the exact value of x. So for cos A, we need to apply cosine rule, right? We need to apply a cosine rule. Our cosine rule is given as A squared is equals to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A, right? Here our A is basically this. So we have our B squared. This would be root 5 minus 1 whole squared, root 5 plus 1 whole squared, minus 2 root 5 plus 1, root 5 minus 1. I have switched it, cos A, and we have our A square as x, right? We can calculate our cos A easily by just drawing a triangle, right? Our sin A was given as root 5 upon 3, which means we have a hypotenuse of 3 and a perpendicular of root 5. We can calculate this by using the Pythagoras theorem. So this would be 3 squared negative root 5 whole squared and then root. So this would be 9 minus 5, 9 minus 4 and then square root. This would be 2, right? So we have our cos A as 2 upon 3, right? So this would be 2 upon 3. Let's just write it again as 2 over 3, right? Now let's just solve this. When we solve this, we get this as 5 and 2 root 5. This would be cancelled because this here will get negative 2 root 5 and here will be getting 2 root 5 in positive. These would be cancelled out, so we'll not be using this. So this would be 5 and then minus 4 and then minus 1. So this would be 4 and again this would be sorry, 5 plus 1, that would be 5 plus 1, that is 6, and then again 5 plus 1, that is 6, that would be 12, and then this would be, this we calculated earlier, this was 4, this was multiplied and then we got 4, so this would be 4 negative 2 of formula 4 of this and then 2 over 3 and then square root. So we get our answer as, this would be multiplied by 3, this would 36 and this is subtracted with 16. Yes, so we get it as 20 upon 3, right? So we have our x as root 20 upon 3. Now in part C, we have to find the exact value of sin B, right? We need a exact value of sin B. Here we can use sine rule, right? We have our x, we have our alpha, sine alpha. So this would be a over sine alpha, b over sine b, right? We have our a as root 20 upon 3, complete root 20 upon 3, right? We have our sine a as root 5 upon 3. We have our b as root 5 plus 1. Now since we can use the calculator over here, let's just use the calculator. Sine b would be multiplied over there, root 5 upon 3 would be multiplied over there, and then this root 20 upon 3 would be divided. So we get our sine b finally as root 5 plus 1 over 2 root 3, right? Or you can just simplify it, right? Now moving on to question 10, I guess. Yes, question 10, where a geometric progression has third term 4.5 and sixth term, that is t6, equals to 15.875. Find the first term and the common ratio, right? We have to find the first term, that is a is equals to question mark and r is equals to question mark, right? So we are given with t3. Our t3 would be, this is written as a power r n minus 1. Our tn is written as this. So we have our 3. So this would be a r squared is equals to 4.5. And our t6 can be written as a r5, which is equals to 15.875. We'll be dividing this by this. So this would be AR5 upon AR3, sorry, AR2, 15.875, 1875, sorry, upon 4.5. We get A and A would be cancelled out. We get R cubed as 15.1875 over 4.5. To remove this R cube, we'll be taking cube root. So we get our R as 1.5 by using the calculator, right? We have our R. We can plug in any equation. Let's just plug in over here. So this would be 1.5 squared is equals to 4.5. This 1.5 squared would be divided. So this would be 1.5 squared. We have our A as 2, right? This would be 2.25 and this 2.25 is cancelled out. So get 2, right? Moving on to part B, we have find the sum of 10 terms of progression. Starting with the 16th term, we have to start from the 16th term, give your answer to the nearest integer, which means it needs numbers from 16 till 25, right? As 16 till 25. What we can do is we can calculate the sum of 25 numbers and then subtract it from 15. So we get the 10 numbers in between, right? So let's just apply the formula. We have our S15 formula as 2, that is A 1 minus R power n over 1 minus R. This is given in the formula sheet, right? So I'm just plugging in the values. This would be 1.5 as our R. We have our n as 15, and this would be 1 minus 1.5. And for S25 we get 2 1 minus 1.5 power 25 over 1 minus 1.5, and if we subtract both, we get our final answer as, you can use the calculator over here. Our final answer would be 99253, right? This is our final answer. Now moving on to question 11, we have the coordinates of point. The point C lies on the line AB between AB such that AC is to CB, AC upon CB is 1 upon 2, right? So there are basically 3 parts. This is AC and then B. This is 1 part and these are 2 parts, right? So if we have A till B, if we take a look at A till B, this would be 9 altogether points or 9 distance in x-axis, and we have to take the 1 upon 3 part. So this would be 9 upon 3. This would be 3, I guess. Yes. And this 3 will be either added over here or subtracted over here to take the middle ground. So this would be -5 plus 3 as our coordinate, x coordinate of C, and we'll do the same thing in the y. We have 12. This will be divided by 3. We get it as 4. This 4 will be either subtracted or added over here. So this would be -6 plus 4 equals to -2, right? Sorry, I guess some mistake over here. So this goes from 6 till -6. This won't be something like this. This would be either 4 will be added or subtracted from here, right? Sorry, I made some mistake. Let's just redo it, right? So this is the same thing. We have 1 and then 2 part, right? So this is -5 and 4, 6 and -6, right? So we have our A and then this is basically our B on the right hand side, right? And below a perfect diagram is drawn, right? So this would be the total distance from A to B is in x coordinate is -5 and -4, or you can say total of 9 distance. We have to take a single part, so this would be divided by 3, or 9 is multiplied by 1 over 3. You can simply say this. So this is 3. And this 3 is basically added to go closer to this value, right? So this would be negative 5 plus 3 is equals to negative 2. We have our x coordinate as this. Now let's just look at 6 and negative 6, right? So we have 6 and negative 6 are, if we add them, so this would be 6 negative 6, this would be 12. This is divided by 3 to take the to take one part of the 3 whole, right? So this would be 4, and then this 4 will be subtracted from this to get closer to this, right? So this would be 6 minus 4 equals to 2 as our y coordinate. So our x and y of c would be negative 2 comma 2, right? I hope you get it. Now moving on to part B, we have the line CD is perpendicular to AB. Find the equation of CD in the form of this, right? Perpendicular to AB. We have to calculate the gradient of AB first. Gradient of AB is y2 minus y1 would be negative 12. Negative 6 and negative 6 would be negative 12. 4 and then negative 5 would be positive 9. So this would be positive 9. So this would be negative 4 over 3. Perpendicular gradient would be negative reciprocal. So this would be negative 1 over negative 4 over 3. Negative and negative would be cancelled out. This 3 would go over there. Up, this will go up. So this would be 3 over 4. We have our gradient of the perpendicular, right? Now we need a C coordinates. We have the C coordinates. Let's just write this down. This is here. So we can use the y minus y1 m x minus x1 formula to calculate our equation directly. So we have a m as 3 upon 4, x minus 2 would be plus 2, and our y minus 2. So this would be 3 over 4x plus this would be 3 over 2 again, and this 2 would be added over there. So this would be y is equals to 3 over 4x. This would be 4 plus 3, 7 over 2, right? I hope the answer is correct. This 3 over 2 is added with 2. So this is our final equation, right? Since it has to be given in this format. Now moving on to part C, we have the length BD is 125. Find the coordinates of the two possible positions of point D. We have to calculate the position of point D. So the length of BD is calculated by x2 minus x1 whole squared plus y2 minus y1 whole squared, right? We can take x2 or y2 or anything, right? So this would be, we can take D as x comma y, right? Our BD is given as root 125 is equals to root. We are given with B. Let's just write this B as 4 and negative 6. So we have this x2 as 4 minus x whole squared, or you can simply write it as 4x minus 4. This would be much better because x would be positive over here. So this would be x minus 4 whole squared, and this would be y plus 6 whole squared, right? This square root and this square root would be cancelled out, so we get our answer as 25x squared plus sorry, made a mistake over here. So this would be x squared. 2 into 4 is 8, negative 8x plus 16, and this is y plus 6. So this y is basically this, right? So this is plus 3 upon 4x plus 7 upon 2 plus 6 whole squared. This will be multiplied by 2, so this will be 12 plus 7. I guess 12 plus 7 is 19 upon 2. So this would be x squared negative 8x plus 16. This 3 upon 4x would be whole squared. This would be something like 9 squared. Sorry, 9 upon 16 x squared. This was 19 upon 2. This will be whole squared. This will be 2 into 19 upon 2 and multiplied by 3 upon 4x. This will be cancelled out. We get this as 19 into 3 would be 57x. I guess this would be 57x upon 4. And then 19 upon 2 would be squared. So let's just take the calculator. So this would be, I hope this opens up. I hope this works. This is 361. 361 over 4. Now when we solve this whole equation, we get our final answer as 25x squared plus 100x minus 300 equals to 0. Or we can solve this, but this will take a lot of time, right? So you can either solve it by yourself or you can just use the calculator, right? Or let's just, I guess, take that and we can use this. We can just try it, right? So I hope I haven't made a mistake over here. So this would be right. This is right till here. This would be this. This is right. 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 Okay. Let's just take 16 as our denominator, and this 16 will be multiplied to 125. Let's just clear it. 16 multiplied by 125 would be 2000. So this would be 2000. This will be multiplied by 16. This will be multiplied by 16. This will be multiplied by 16. This will be multiplied by 1. This will be multiplied by 4. This will be multiplied by 4. So let's just multiply it. So this would be 16x squared, right? And plus 9x squared. This plus 9. This plus 9 is over here. So this would be 25x squared, right? 8 into 16 is basically 128. So this would be negative 128 plus 16 squared is 256. And this would be this is x basically, and this would be 57 multiplied by 4. Sorry, 57 multiplied by 4. Sorry, 57 multiplied by 4. Guess we have to just use this. 57 multiplied by 4 is 228. This was done, this is done, this is done, this is done. This is 228 plus 228x, and this is 361 multiplied by 4. So this would be 361 multiplied by 4. This is 1444. 1444, right? So let's just add all of them. So this would be negative 1. This would be 25x squared plus 200x. Just let's just take all of these things over here. So this would be just, this would be 144 plus 256 minus 2000. So this would be 300, I guess. Negative 300. Yes. Right? Sorry. This would be 100. Right? 220, 128 is subtracted from 128. We get 100x. Right? So we get this equation. We can divide this by 25. Whole equation by 25. So this would be x squared plus 4x minus 12, I guess. Yes. We can solve this. So this would be 6 and 2. Yes, 6 and 2. So this would be negative 2x, positive 6x, negative 12. Taking x as common, this would be x minus 2. X minus 2, x is equals to 2 and x equals to negative 6. We have our x is 2 and x is negative 6. We can plug in these values over here, right? So we get our answer as 3 over 4 into 2 plus 7 over 2, right? So we get our y as this would be 2, 3 over 2 plus this 3 plus 7 is 10, 10 over 2 is 5, right? Now plugging in this again, so this would be negative 9, positive 7 would be negative 2, negative 2 upon 2 is negative 1. So we have our y's as well, right? These two are. I hope you get it. Now this was it from my side. Thank you for watching and please do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.